Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome. You are tuned into Big Mike Drop. I am your humble host, Big Mike, coming to you from my lovely home. Hope everyone's doing great. Hope everyone's enjoying their 2023 so far. I have not done a vlog, just realizing it, since I believe last year's summertime. I have been slacking, actually, a great deal when it comes to doing vlogs. In part because I have a busy life and I have shit going on, and I'm not always readily available to do vlogs. Okay, so, but I am in a good mood today. I did some organizing. I still have to do some more organizing, but I figured, seeing that I'm in a good mood and I haven't done one of these and I missed doing these, and I've been meaning to do this vlog for a while. I've just been really busy with school and work and life and all those things. So I figured now is a perfect time to do it because I'm off work. I don't have school. And school's wrapping up, so I have some time. So I figured, why not do this? So before I get into this, so usually, for those of you who are new to the channel, typically what I've done in years past, from I would say since 2017, was I would showcase, and as most of you know, if you don't know, I'm gonna let you know, I am a massive sneakerhead. I love shoes. I'm into shoes. Been into shoes for a long time. So what I was doing up and around 2017 was I would actually show my top 5 or top 10 sneakers of that year in terms of purchases. But obviously I've fallen off doing that because life got hectic and I just don't have the time. So what I decided to do was amalgamate, see, that's the university talk right there, all of my 2022 and 2023 sneaker purchases into one list. Now I'm going to try to keep this list, or the first part of this list, as much of this list as I can, to 30 minutes. If I feel that I'm running over time, I will split it and I'll do a 2-part one, okay? So I'm thinking what I might have to do is I'll probably have to do a 2-part one because I have roughly 9 shoes that I purchased between the past 2 years. So in doing so, I'm going to have to so I'm more than likely to split the list, which is fine. So I'll probably do the first from 9 to 4, and then I'll do the last 4 shoes in another video, if anything else, okay? So that's kind of how I'm going to do it. So my criteria for my list is, simply put, just shoes that I really either wanted for a long time, colorway-wise. Some are Nike IDs, most are Jordans. I have one, a kind of a wild card one, but it's one that I've really wanted for a long time. And again, you can guys let me know in the comment section if you like my list, if you think my list is trash. That's fine. We don't have to agree, but my list is my list. So without further ado, because I kind of want to try to get this as much done of this as possible, I will get started. So number 9 on my list, and people are probably going to look at me like I have 12 heads for putting this on my list, but these shoes, oddly enough, and surprised the hell out of me, that these actually have sat on shelves for a long time. So this is number 9 on my list. These are, simply put, the Jordan 1s, mids. Now, the difference is this is an all-white Jordan 1 mid. I call these my date shoes. So if anytime I end up going on a date somehow in the spring or summertime, these are usually going to be the go-to shoes that I'm going to wear, okay? So reason these are 9 on my list is I honestly purchased these randomly because I was actually on Nike's website one night, and oddly enough, they had this shoe in my size for retail. And for those of you who are into sneakers, if you don't know, Jordan 1s have, for about a good, I would say 6 years or so, could be wrong in terms of the years, but this was probably the most popular casual Jordan. Like if you go downtown to Toronto or any part of anywhere, people are just wearing this shoe like it's gone out of style. And Jordan brand recognized this and put out many, many different colorways, different styles. They have low versions of these have really high cut versions of these, they have the mids, which are these, they have another weird mid version. So they have a multitude of different styles that they've done in this shoe, to the point where I think they overdid it, because now there's Jordans are sitting on shelves, and the go-to Jordan is actually my number 5 shoe that I purchased last year, and I'll kind of show you the silhouette and why that is, okay? But I'll get into that when I get there. But no, these ones are actually really dope. Like I said, the fact that these were, and I actually jinxed myself because my last year's list, when I did my top 5 most hype sneakers, and I talked about the I'll show you the shoes really quick. The royal blue, these ones, And I said in that video that I would more than likely never buy a pair of Jordan 1s again because they're too expensive. And plus I have these ones, and I got these for a decent price. But I lied to myself because I obviously bought these ones. So clearly I lied to me. So, but no, these are pretty dope. Like I said, again, these are like really my date shoes because they're a very clean shoe. I could kind of rock with obviously anything. And yeah, so I've got these around July of last year. I believe it was around July. And a few other shoes that I purchased in my later list, I got around the same time. So they're kind of all in the same boat. But these ones are my favorites so far. Like I said, I wore them a fair amount last year, as you can see. But I love these shoes, actually. I try to keep them clean. I try not to wear them too much, obviously, because they're white. So that's why I don't really go on dates too much. So, you know, only if I'm going to go on a date with someone, it means I really like them. If I'm not going on a date with them, not really into them. Just saying. But anyway, these are number 9 on my list. Actually, I think they're still on Nike's website. So if you did want to actually try to see if you can get a pair, you can, because they did a restock, I think, a few months ago. And they have a bunch of pairs sitting because people aren't really buying this shoe anymore. They're more into the other silhouette of Jordans, and I'll show you that. And I'll show you that one in a bit. Okay, so these are number 9 on my list: the Jordan 1 mid all white hashtag date shoe. All right, so I'll put these back in my sneaker boxes. So number 8 on my list, and people are gonna probably look at me like I have 15 heads, not 12, but 15 heads, because they're like, Michael, what in the hell are these shoes that you made? And here they are. This is number 8 on my list. These are the Air Max 90s. I call these are called my work shoe. So pretty much why I call these my work shoe is that when I started, because actually I was working as an employment counselor not too far from where I lived. So during, we went back to the offices around April of last year, and I worked there until about close to, I believe, August of last year, because I started school back, and I wasn't, you know, and the job was full-time. I'm obviously in school full-time, so I couldn't make it work. So, but during the summer, basically, I would say I got these in early or mid-July or late August, or either mid-July or late August mid-July or early August, I think I got these. I'm not sure on the date. I'm kind of spacing on the date, but again, I don't remember when I got every damn shoe I got. So, so these I kind of got then. So I started basically walking to work, which is about a 45-minute walk there and back. So about 90 minutes a day I would typically walk in these shoes. And if you know Air Maxes, people, these are extremely, extremely comfortable. So you're probably looking at this shoe like, Michael, what the hell colorway is this? And what made you decide to do this colorway? The simplest explanation I can give is I literally was on Nike ID's website one night, and I was just bored one night, and I was playing around with different colors, and I just literally tapped every single color that they had. I basically put it on every single part of the shoe. And then when I started looking at the shoe, I was like, holy shit, these shoes actually look really dope. So I ended up making them. And I actually have gotten compliments from my one boy. He actually was like, yo, bro, where the hell did you get those shoes from? Because I posted them. And on this like chat app that I talk on. And he was like, yo, bro, those look dope. And I was like, honestly, bro, all I did is just tap every color on the Nike, on the website, on the shoe. And this is what I came up with in my weird creative mind. And actually, I was walking down the street one day, and a girl saw them, and she's like, oh, where'd you get those from? I'm like, oh, I made these. And she's like, oh, my God, those look really, really nice. And I was like, thank you. So I feel good about my creation, people. Okay, so people might be looking at these like they're crazy, but these are dope. So the material on this, there's leather here. But then I think right here is like denim and stuff like that as well. This is denim, I believe. And then I'm not familiar with what the material is here. But then this is obviously like just regular like plastic and stuff like that. And then obviously the Nike Air Bubble and stuff. And then the Nike Air on the back. And I decided to do a gum bottom sole because I love the gum bottom sole. It just kind of makes it look more of a casual-ish shoe that I can kind of get away with a little bit at work. It's very flashy, I know, but I can kind of get away with it. And plus Air Max 90s, I love. I'm not a huge fan of like low-cut shoes, but these ones I really like because they're extremely comfortable. And as someone who's getting up there in age, I've learned to appreciate a comfortable shoe, and these are definitely it. So where you can get these, well, if you really wanted to create something, you can go on Nike ID. I'm like damn near the spokesperson of Nike ID, even though their site isn't the greatest anymore. But definitely if you wanted to make this shoe, you certainly could. If you want to make it exactly like this, go nuts. If you want to make some weird variation of it, you certainly can. They've always had Air Max 90s on there. They've had Air Max 90s on there for a while. So definitely, if you wanted to play around with different colors and make an Air Max, you can certainly do that. But yeah, these are number 8 on my list, the Air Max 90s, and I call these my work shoes because now, like, going forward, if I go to a work event or something like that I can get away wearing a shoe, these are going to be the shoes that I'm going to wear, and people are going to be like, "What the hell are those, Mike?" And these are my work shoes. Okay, so number 8 on my list. Number 7 on my list, and let me get a glass of water really quick because trying to stay hydrated. So number 7 on my list are these. And these are the Nike Dunk SBs. I think the Dunk Highs, actually. So I will try to I'll have a brief rant maybe at the end of this, these vlogs in relation to my feelings on this shoe. Because there's a reason, and because they're starting to trend, but I want to kind of give a little rant about it. But anyway, these are the Dunk Highs, okay? There's also a Dunk Low that's very popular as well, but I got the Dunk High because, as I mentioned, I'm not a huge fan of low-cut shoes. I really prefer highs, so I got these ones instead. So I know some sneakerheads are looking at the colorway, and they might think that I copied Billie Eilish. Now let me explain. So Billie Eilish actually made a... Excuse me, sorry, I'll just grab the shoe again. A Jordan 1 of this shoe, in this colorway, but of this silhouette. And I know people are looking at it like, Michael, what the fuck's the difference? There are differences. If you really pay attention, there are very subtle differences. I don't have time to break down all the damn differences, but there are noticeable differences. But it's similar as design and silhouette and all that stuff. So, and I didn't notice this until after I Nike ID'd the shoe. So there's like a Billie Eilish Jordan 1 in this colorway, but again, I didn't copy her. I literally made this. I made a bunch of different Dunk colorways, like in this colorway. A lot of them were inspired by OG Jordan 1 colorways. Like I made like a royal colorway. I made a black and red colorway. I made a white, black, and red colorway, stuff like that. But then another day I was like just chilling and I'm thinking, you know what? I want to switch it up. I want to make like some different colors. I want to do something a little bit funky and bold because I was just in that mood. So I literally I was on the site, I was on the shoe, and I was looking at different colorways, and I saw they had Volt. Now, I do have Volt on another shoe that I showed in like during the pandemic, that has a little bit of Volt in it. But I kind of wanted something that had mostly Volt or all Volt, this was the colorway, basically. And so I basically did an all Volt shoe. And I like these. I really enjoy them. They are a little flashy, I'll admit, but you know, sometimes I like to be flashy. So it really depends on my mood and kind of where I'm going, what I'm doing, what I'm wearing, things of that nature. But these ones I really enjoy. They're pretty comfortable, actually, for the most part, which is kind of surprising because these shoes came out in the mid-'80s, and they're not exactly the most comfortable shoe to, like, I wouldn't suggest, like, playing basketball in these or running in these. These were usually made as a skateboard shoe. And oddly enough, I actually remember making or buying a shoe, like, similar to this. I want to say in 2000, like 10 years ago, like the same design, but a different color. And I ended up actually giving it to a youth at the shelter I used to work at because he had no shoes. And I wasn't even wearing the shoes, so I gave it to him. So, yes, while I am a sneakerhead, I don't hoard my shoes. So if I feel like it's a shoe that I'm not wearing anymore and someone less fortunate is in need of it, I'd rather give it to them and let them wear it than me hoard it and keep it for some stupid-ass reason, because I don't do that. But these are, I really like these, actually. Wore them actually a lot, more than I anticipated when I got them. Same with these. I really didn't anticipate wearing these as much, but I wore both of these a lot. So, and again, I Nike ID'd this. So, just showing off a little bit of creativity, but it's not really all over that creative. It's just like, in terms of the colors, just very loud. And sometimes I like wearing loud shoes. So, there you go. So, number 7 on my list is the Nike SB, where you can get these. They're still on Nike ID. I'm not sure about the colors, because sometimes Nike ID will change their colors. So sometimes they might have a colorway on there or a color like this, but then after a while they might run out. They might restock it, they might not. It depends. So if you do want to make a Nike SB or a high or even a low, they have both, just so you know. So you can make either one if you really want to do that. So anyways, the number 7 on my list is these bad boys. So number 6 on my list. Now, full disclosure. Excuse me. These are Jordans. And full disclosure, I was not a huge fan of these growing up either. And I'll explain why. Those of you who watched the earlier video that I did 2 years ago, where I did my white, red, and black Jordans, or my top 5s, I was not a huge fan of white and red and black Jordans growing up. I was more a fan of the black, red, and white Jordans. But these ones, which is number 6 on my list, are the fire red 3s. Okay. Now I got these last year, September, before I started school. It's kind of like my little bit of a gift to myself. But truthfully speaking, I really just wanted the shoe because I actually really liked the shoe for a few reasons. So as I mentioned, I did not really like this shoe a few years ago because they've come out with this shoe about, this is the 4th version that they've come out with. I believe they came out with it obviously in '88. I believe they put it back out in 2007, 2013, and then last year. Now, I was not a fan of the 2007 or the 2013 version because, as you can see, the cement print right here was basically black. And just something about the shoe I just was not a fan of. I didn't like how dark it looked. It looked really stupid. It looked like someone basically took a marker and just drew all over the fucking cement print, which I was just not a fan of at all. But when I saw that they were bringing it back, but true to the original with, for example, the Nike Air on the back, which I personally love, and obviously the cement print being what it is as true to the original, because if you watched Michael Jordan play back in the day, because I know on the internet, dumbass sneakerheads got all upset because they didn't like the way the cement print looked. But if they actually watched when Michael Jordan wore these back in 1988, this is how the shoe originally looked, with the cement print, the width of the length of the length of the cement print being what it is here is truer to the original of how it was originally made back in '88. So people who are bitching about the length of it and all that, simply put, you guys are idiots and you don't know what you're talking about. Excuse my French, but I have to say it because you guys were bitching about something. And if you actually took the time to do your research instead of bitching and complaining, you'd have known why Jordan Brand went in this direction, because they were trying to make it more truer to the way that it was made when it was made in '88. Okay, and I think for the most part, they did a good job. Really love the colorway. Again, very comfortable. Like I've mentioned in previous videos when I've discussed the Jordan 3, they're very, very, very comfortable. And I would recommend anybody who's looking to maybe buy Jordans or get into Jordans, but you're not sure which Jordan to buy, this one is probably the go-to, because again, you can wear it kind of with most different things. My number 1 shoe, I could wear that with pretty much anything. Not going to spoil what it is, but it's similar to some of the other shoes I've shown in the past. Okay, but where you can get this, these sold out pretty quickly. They didn't really sit on shelves. I highly recommend, if you are looking to get these, perhaps you can probably go on Stadium Goods. I know they carry these on Stadium Goods, GOAT, Flight Club. Now, the price point is going to be a little bit higher than you'd probably want to spend. That's because, again, they came out a little bit later. But you might be able to go on StockX if you really want to take a chance with StockX. I don't, but if you do, go nuts. And you might be able to get a pair decently priced if you really want to get the shoe but didn't want to, let's say, break the bank and spend $1 gajillion. You can maybe go on StockX and try to negotiate a proper price that works for you. Okay, so that's where but I got these off of Stadium Goods actually because I missed the release, because for some reason the releases here were kind of weird. It's better now, but I would say 2021 and last year it was a disaster for shoes. Like, some shoes weren't releasing, or they would release really late and stuff like that. So this one, I don't even know if this even got into stores, but I missed the release, so I ended up just ordering it on Stadium Goods. So there you go. So number 6 on my list are these, the Jordan 3s, Fire Reds. Now, number 4 on my list is a shoe that, oddly enough, I did show last year in my top 5 most hyped sneakers that are in my collection. But I'm going to show it again because I love the shoe, and although I haven't worn it yet this year, I do plan on busting it out at some point. And this is it. So the number 5 version of the shoe, and I think I'll probably stop the video after these shoes, and I'll do another video. But I'm going to end it off with this video with this one, which is a banger. You can call these the Bumblebees, but these are the Lightning Jordan 4s. Oddly enough, the Thunder 4s, which are coming out next month, which is basically a reverse version of the shoe, is coming out. I'm on the fence on whether I'm going to get those or not. It really depends. But these are really dope. I really love these shoes. Really love them. Obviously, I don't have an all yellow shoe. It's my first yellow shoe that I own in my collection. And yeah. So what I was saying earlier about the trendy shoe, because I remember I had mentioned that the Jordan 1 used to be the really go-to casual Jordan that people really loved, even people that weren't into sneakers. It is no longer the case. The youth love the Jordan 4s. And the youth now, I really like the youth now. I'm going to just say it because first off, they're wearing baggy clothes, which I love. They wear shirts like this, which I love. And Aaliyah, hashtag Aaliyah, love Aaliyah. Aaliyah's, oddly enough, just a fun fact before I get back to the shoe. Aaliyah and I have the same birthday, January 16th. So there you go. But that's neither here nor there. But these shoes are one of my favorite fours that I own in my collection. Really love these shoes. I bought these as when I finished my term last year. Because these shoes, I believe, came out in 2021. But I decided to treat myself because I not only finished my last term, my second year, but I did really well. So I decided to treat myself and buy a pair of Jordans, and I bought these ones because I really love these shoes. And yeah, they're super comfortable, first and foremost. And again, they're different from anything I have, but I feel like I could wear it with so much different stuff. Like I have a Nirvana shirt I could wear it with. I have a Wu-Tang shirt I could wear it with. I have a Batman shirt I could wear it with. And all that. So I have so many different things I could wear this with, which is awesome. So I'm very excited to kind of expand my repertoire a little bit. So just to give you the heads up on this shoe, just in case you don't get a chance to watch the video that I did last year. So this shoe came out, I believe, in 2006, and it came out only online. It was on, I think it was called Jumpman.com was the website. Now, I was living in Guyana at the time, so I wasn't familiar with this, but I learned that. So this shoe basically was designed because Michael Jordan has a motorsport team, like a motorcycle team. And back in the day, the color of the team logo was this. It was basically, I think it was black, yellow, and white. So someone on his team basically designed the colorway of this shoe. They designed the Lightnings as well. The Thunders as well, and then they designed a white version, which is kind of like an amalgam, as kind of a mix between this one, the Thunders, and then like a white pair. So it's kind of like a little bit of a mix. Who knows? They might put out that one next year too, and I might get all three just to have all three. Just, the reason why I'm thinking about getting the Thunders, the Thunder 4s, is because I want to maybe get the whole set. So have the Lightnings, the Thunders, and the other one. So I might get them. I haven't decided yet, but these ones were definitely ones that I loved and I had to get. So these were one of my favorite ones. And again, Jordan 4s, the youth love them. They're very comfortable. They're a classic. Now, I don't know now that the kids are into the Jordan 4s, if Jordan Brand is now going to start pushing out Jordan 4s more, because I think a Jordan 4 that came out a few weeks ago sold out like within hours. There was this other Jordan 4, it was like a similar design, that was just basically a white and black Jordan 4 that just sold out like crack. Like it was just like people could not stop buying that shoe. And the resale on it is insane now. It's over $1,000 for that shoe. So because I was confused as to why the Jordan 4 was like selling out like this and why everyone was hyping up the Jordan 4. But I realized because the younger kids now, the younger kids, this is their shoe. This is their go-to shoe. And I love, like I said, I love it because I think it's going to keep people into sneakers and all that stuff as well. And again, the Jordan 4 is a classic shoe. So if you're going to have a go-to shoe, I say besides the 3, the 4 is even better. It's a lot lighter than the 3. So that's kind of why there's the vents here and stuff to make it a little bit more lightweight. And again, they're very comfortable as well. And I have about, how many 4s do I have? About 1, 2, 3. Sorry. I have 5. This is my 5th pair. So, but yeah, I love the Jordan 4s. So I'm almost done collecting all the Jordan 4s. So, but this one, like I said, was a must cop. And like I said, I hope to get the Lightnings next year. Or sorry, not the Lightnings, the Thunders next month. If I do have the money, we'll see. But anyway, I'm gonna stop this video here. I'm gonna stop it. I figured 25 minutes would be good enough. So, so far this is part 1 of my sneaker purchases of last year and this year. But stay tuned, people, because I have still my 4 sneakers left on the list to show. I'm very excited to show off these top 4. Some people will think this is a lame list because they're like, why you have that as your top 4? Da 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 da. It's my list, like I said, so I don't care. But anyway, I'm gonna put some of these shoes away, and I will come back and then finish off my list for you lovely people. And so stay tuned, okay? So love, peace, and soul, and all that jazz. I'll be right back, banging out another video with my top 4 shoes that I've purchased between 2022 and this year.